Good morning, children, and welcome back to the English class. In my previous video, we learnt about the difference between phrases and clauses. We also learnt the principal clause or the main clause, dependent clause or the subordinate clause. In my previous video, we discussed about the adjective clause. Today, we are going to learn about the noun clauses, which is also a dependent or a subordinate clause. So, as such, if we see, there are three types of subordinate or dependent clauses, and those are adjective clauses, noun clauses, and adverb clauses. So, today we are going to learn about noun clauses. What is a noun clause? A noun clause is a dependent clause that takes the place of any noun in the sentence, whether they are subjects, objects, or subject complements. For example, no one knew where we were headed. In this, the noun clause appears as the object of the sentence, where we were headed. She asked whether we should go. Again, in the noun clause, here is whether we should go. Do you know when you are leaving? When you are leaving is the noun clause here. The question is whether he can do the work or not. Here again, whether he can do is the subject. I don't know if it is raining. If it is raining is the noun clause in this sentence. How can you spot a noun clause in a sentence? Well, these are the following connectors with which you can easily spot a noun clause in a sentence. Most of you use these connectors to form a noun clause. Most of the time, that in a noun clause is not used but assumed as used in a sentence. So we can say that in a noun clause, sometimes in few sentences, we omit using that as the connector. Moving on, let us learn about 5 functions of noun clauses. Noun clause can be used as the subject of a sentence. It can function as the subject of an independent clause. For example, what he says is quite true. In this sentence, the noun clause appears as the subject of the sentence. That he will come back is certain. Again, the noun clause here is the subject of the sentence. The second function is as the direct object. A noun clause can work as the direct object of the verb in the independent clause. Do you know when the train will come? When the train will come is the direct object. He thinks that she will never fail. That she will never fail is the object of the independent clause. Moving on to the third function, which is the object of the preposition. Other times, noun clauses can act as the object of a preposition in the independent clause. For example, I cannot depend on what he says. What he says is the noun clause, which is the object of the preposition on. In the next sentence, I object to what he says. What he says is the noun clause, and the preposition is to. The next function of the noun clause is as the subject complement. Noun clauses can act as subject complement or nouns that follow linking verbs. For example, life is what we make it. The linking verb is. It seems that she will top the list of successful candidates. Here, it seems is the linking verb that she will top the list of successful candidates In this sentence, that she will top the list of successful candidates is the noun clause. The fifth function of the noun clause is in apposition or equal to a noun or a pronoun it. For example, it is clear that he was innocent. It is the pronoun here, which is equal to the noun clause that he was innocent. The news that he is alive is true. Now here the noun clause is that he is alive is true. So we can easily identify between the noun clause and the adjective clause if we look at the table given here. Noun clause is a dependent clause that functions as a noun. Adjective clause is an adjective clause that functions as an adjective. Noun clause functions as a noun. It can act as the subject, object, and subject complement, whereas adjective clause functions as an adjective and modifies the noun. Noun clauses are not written with commas, but adjective clauses are sometimes set off by commas. Therefore, we see, children, that there is a difference between the adjective clause and the noun clause. I hope you will be able to identify the noun clause and the adjective clause and would learn the difference between the independent and the dependent clauses. For more lessons on the clauses, I shall give you a recapitulation in my next video. Till then, children, thank you and goodbye.